Lesson 5 in Module 1 covers how cardio and supplements fits into our foundation. Creating positive change and building a great physique for life means living an active lifestyle. We do this by changing our identity rather than forcing the results to come. Let's do it. Here we go. We are jumping into lesson 5 on cardio and supplements, which is definitely a hot topic when we're talking about transformation and creating changes within our body and our physique. To start off with, we got to cover a few dysfunctional beliefs, just beliefs that are not serving you again. These dysfunctional beliefs do not mean that there is something wrong with you, but these are beliefs that we need to change if we want to create success and create the change that we want to see. Number 1 being, cardio and supplements are necessary to lose body fat. You've got to work. Well, it's kind of the other way around. Those in great shape enjoy doing cardio and using supplements already. People have gotten toned without either before. Cardio and supplements are not necessary, but they are great tools that we can use in order to create the results that we want to see. So in this lesson, we'll cover a healthy way to look at cardio to live an active lifestyle and how supplements kind of tie into that as well. Another belief is that cardio burns calories. That is true, but it is just very one-dimensional, and we need to kind of take a step back and look at cardio from a different perspective. Cardio trains your heart and lungs to use oxygen and fat more efficiently. It uses lots of energy since it is full body exercise, and most commonly you do it for kind of a long period of time. But if we want to create long-term success and have a great physique for life, we can't just look at cardio as a means of burning calories. And one last belief we will cover is that supplements trick my body to work better. They are almost like magic. That's kind of a common phrase you may hear from beginners coming into the gym or just people that are trying out supplements for the first time. When in reality, the better reframe of this is that supplements can make health and fitness easier and more fun. People will stick to a routine for longer if it is fun or easy. So before we go any further, let's make sure we define cardio in our argument here. What is cardio? Cardio is any form of exercise that raises your heart rate and breathing. And it doesn't even just have to be exercise. It could be, say, like you're moving furniture in your house and that happens to get your heart rate up and you're breathing a little bit more. You could consider that cardio to some degree. And so that is essentially exercise training your heart and your lungs. There's two types of cardio we can kind of specify here. There's low intensity or zone 2 cardio you may have heard before, and then there's high intensity. A common form of this is high intensity interval training, HIIT cardio. Now the important thing to note out here, both burn calories. Yes, anytime we use our bodies, we are burning calories. But for a low intensity form of cardio, it has a low stress on your body. That is really important. For high intensity cardio, it has a high stress on your body. And so let's branch out here a little bit. What is not considered cardio? Well, strength training. When you're doing your workouts in the gym and you're smashing PRs, that also burns calories, but it's also a very high stress on your body, which is what causes your body to change and grow should you be able to recover and have the resources to build up from that. So main takeaway about what cardio is, it's anything that raises your heart rate and your breathing, but there is a cost to the more intense versions of cardio that we need to take into account. So now if we take a step back from what cardio is not about calories at the end of the day. It is much more than that. That is an important part, but it is not about that. That is not the pinnacle. That is not the priority of cardio. Anytime we move our body, we are burning energy. We are burning calories. Now, touching back on the 5 R's that I mentioned in the previous lessons, one of those was recovery. Our body will only grow from what it can recover from. So when cardio is harder, it places more stress on your body. It is more intense, therefore you need to recover more from it. So more stress, harder to recover. And so we need to think about, as a foundation to our routine, something we can come back to that helps us build muscle and live a healthy routine. What is the most rewarding cardio for the least effort? And when I'm talking about recovery, the two main drivers of that are going to be your sleep and having proper nutrition, which I'll cover in the later modules. So when thinking about this low cost, high reward form of cardio, just form of activity and exercise, walking, I think, is one of the best things that we can do, at least as part of our foundation, something we can always come back to, something we can always incorporate in our day-to-day lives. And there's many reasons why walking is just a great form of exercise and movement and just form of activity for our bodies. If you ever want to do more intense cardio than walking, that is still 100% doable with more experience and more of an individualized program. But what I'm saying here is that no matter who you are, walking is something that we can always come back to with lots of benefits. And another perspective on walking is when we are trying to become the hero version of ourselves that's in great shape, that's living a healthy routine, it's not about mindlessly burning calories on a Stairmaster. Being the hero version of ourselves means living an active lifestyle in the most simple, effortless way possible. And I think walking is perhaps the single greatest form of exercise that we can do to achieve that. Now, the reason walking works is because it has all the benefits of physical activity without the costs. And that's because walking is considered NEAT, non exercise activity thermogenesis. And so, what exactly is NEAT? Well, throughout our day, as we are just burning energy to live, about 75% of those calories that you burn every day is from just existing. This is our basal metabolic rate. If you sat on a couch all day and did nothing but stare at a wall, that's how many calories you would burn. That would be your basal metabolic rate. On top of that, 5% of calories that we burn comes from just simply digesting food. And so, with these in mind, walking falls into this last category, which is still a significant amount of the energy we use and spend every single day. And so, I'm not asking you to walk a marathon every day, but I'm asking you to be the type of person that puts in more effort to take the stairs rather than the elevator. This is what it means to live an active lifestyle. And so, as a goal, that simply means try and take as many steps as possible every day. And eventually, when you want to get more structure with kind of specifically losing body fat, we can aim for around 7,500 to 10,000 steps every day while also following the diet principles in Module 2. I'll have more to come on that in those lessons, and I'll remind you about the step goal then as well. Now, for some of you, I know that 7,500 to 10,000 steps sounds like a lot to begin with. So, how are we going to get there? Well, here's the plan. We're going to use progressive overload. We're going to use behavioral change to slowly build up to getting to that point eventually. To start off with, you can check the health app on your phone. This typically has one of the most useful ways to track your steps. And if we're always carrying our phone, it just is an easy way to track as well. Otherwise, you can get some form of activity watch that tracks your steps as well. They are great tools to use for that. But when we're starting out, check out what your current steps and your average steps are every day. If I come back to this other slide, this is my yearly average of steps for my daily average for a year. So if you normally just currently get around 4,000 steps per day, I'm not asking you to get 10,000 next week. Next week, aim for 5,000 and then increase that by 25% again for week 2, 6,250, and then increase that for 25% again for week 3, 8,000. Look at that. We're already up to that step goal in just 2 to 3 weeks. Again, keep going with that, and you are at 10,000 steps per day. As we use a step goal and just trying to live more of an active lifestyle, will this change depending on if you work out that day or not? No. You want to try and get this step goal, and you want to try and get as many steps in every single day. This is what it means to live an active lifestyle. Set this as a standard. You are someone active. You are someone that takes the stairs and not the elevator. You choose intentionally not to take the convenience in order to live that active, healthier lifestyle, to have that great physique, to have your health for life. And when we put this into perspective as a part of our foundation, if you think about cardio and just living more of an active lifestyle, could you realistically go on a run every day, or could you realistically go on a walk every day? When we start to think about the long term and how we can change our identity to help us be healthier and to live a better life in the long term, walking is one of the best ways we can do that. And again, there's so many other reasons why walking is so great. Vitamin D, fresh air, it actually helps improve recovery as a form of active recovery. It helps increase blood flow, get more nutrients into the muscles we've used. And of course, one of the other better ways is to catch up with a friend. This is a great way in which exercise and living an active lifestyle can actually blend up with being social and interacting with the other people we have in our lives. With all these positive benefits, get outside when you can, catch some fresh air, meet up with a friend, or just enjoy some downtime to yourself, almost as like a form of meditation. So how do you actually get more steps in throughout your day? Other than just me telling you to go walk more, how can you actually realistically make this more of a habit? Well, remember, it's more of a mindset, and it's more about actually setting an intentional effort to go do these things. But over time, the more you do that, the more it will just become second nature, almost subconscious to just go out and do these things. For me personally, if I'm not doing any other cardiovascular training towards a specific goal, then I will try to get in a walk in the morning, first thing after I get some water in, and I'll try and go in a walk after dinner, which actually also helps with digestion, kind of zoning down to calm down for the night to go to sleep as well. Other than that, throughout the day, some things you can do to get more steps in: park further away in a parking lot. In America, cities are built for cars. But that doesn't mean that we still can't try to get more steps in by parking further away whenever we go and do use our cars. So in the parking lot, try and park as far away from, say, the grocery store instead of parking as close as possible. You can buy a pair of walking shoes that you love, which will help you just kind of be a little bit more subconsciously inclined to go out and use them if you really enjoy them. You could take the stairs instead of the elevator again. I also lived in a dorm and I was on the 4th and 5th floor for 2 years, and I always made it a habit to take the stairs rather than the elevator. It sucked for like that first week, but then after that, it becomes easy. So again, it's about putting in that effort, and after you do put in the effort, it will feel fun and it will feel rewarding. Some other things you can do if you have meetings for business or just your job, you can try and go on walks during your meetings. Say if you're also calling on the phone, that's another great way to go on a walk during that. During work, you can take your break to go on a walk during lunch, you name it. And lastly, another great one that we can use is just getting in the habit of whenever we are just kind of doom scrolling on social media or just mindlessly using social media as just kind of like a form of relaxation, make it a habit to go on a walk while using that. That's just a form of habit stacking. And if you ever want to learn more about that, check out Atomic Habits by James Clear. Getting more steps in and living an active lifestyle means just walking more. It's one of the best things that we can do to improve our health over the long term. As we move on though, supplements, are they really these great powerful tools that we can use in our toolkit that makes our performance just 10 times better? In reality, no. But if there were ever a few supplements in which I would 100% recommend in good faith, there are 3 I would use. Creatine, a pre-workout with caffeine in it, or just caffeine alone, a cup of coffee, tea, you name it, and then electrolytes. And I like to use this meme because truly supplements are not where you get your strength from. They are not where you get your performance from. You are the person that drives your performance at the end of the day. And I'll talk to you why supplements can kind of help you bring that out more. Supplements are exactly what they are called. They are in addition to what you already have in your diet, in your lifestyle. So something that completes or enhances something else when added to it. You can't think that it fixes everything, but it does help complete it or enhance it. And I think, as I mentioned the last 3, creatine, caffeine, and electrolytes, they aren't so much about influencing our performance as much as making our performance and giving our best effort more fun to do. They make effort feel more rewarding, which does help with performance. Supplements, again, are not special, but they help get you in the right mindset to give your best effort. And I got to hammer this home with another quote from Atomic Habits as well. What gets rewarded gets repeated. You can't expect people to change if you keep rewarding the status quo. And as you make more of an effort to go to the gym and be healthier, using supplements can kind of reward those mini behaviors throughout your day in order to create more of a habit out of those healthy behaviors. This is the end of lesson 5, so we have covered the essentials to building a strong physique and building a strong foundation to our health with exercise. I mentioned calories quite a bit in this lesson, so I'll touch on that more in Module 2. In Module 2, I'll go over how you can make eating to build muscle and lose excess body fat easier to do. I'll also go over the difference between looking like a Greek god and feeling like a Greek god. In this lesson, I also mentioned recovery quite a bit. Recovery is the reason we need sleep, and that's what Module 3 is all about. So you'll see me there.